not adjust your computer screen. It's your mind we're changing. Stories set to a theme. Think outside. Universe Box.
Joey! I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I think Michelle is on the verge of a major breakthrough. Oh my God, we're missing it. Michelle, we did it. That's my big girl.
Yay! All right, Michelle, you're one step closer to a diaper-free world.
Come on, little mouse. I'll get you ready, and we'll all go out and celebrate.
That little pumpkin something.
Did you see her with that magazine? Was that too cute or what?
Does this mean you're not gonna get a divorce?
From the heavens to your ears, this is Universe Box, and we're about to get jiggy with it to the extreme.
Na 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 na. Getting jiggy with it. Na, na,
I'm Bill
na,
Meeks.
Na, na, na. And I'm getting jiggy with it. Na, na.
What's your name, though?
I'm Anne-Marie.
Who is this strange person getting jiggy with it in my house? I don't
have enough glitter. Where's the glitter?
Glitter and fun and gold and stuff. We'll throw on the Anne-Marie cam for you so people can see.
Wait,
yeah.
I gotta get close.
Yeah, Anne-Marie did herself up in a very Gwen Stefani style for tonight's
I've
episode.
got the Gwen Stefani face and hair. Then I've got the Cher Horowitz top with a little bit of my so-called life on top.
Yeah, and I'm
as 90s as you can get.
And I just wore a flannel shirt and a bare naked ladies shirt.
That's not even
t-shirt.
flannel, that's just plaid.
But yeah, if you guys didn't know, we record this live every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. EST at live.universebox.com. We also have some people here in the chat room. Wynn says she did not watch Full House, which is okay. Frustration.
Please tell me you at least recognize this cup.
I don't recognize that cup. Okay.
Friends.
Well, I guess we should go ahead and figure out what's in the box this week, right, Anne-Marie?
Mm-hmm.
After you finish taking your drink
Let me
there.
put down my big friend's cup.
Remember, we're doing a show. We're doing a show.
We're doing a show? What? Show.
Okay, so what's in the box this week?
What's in the box? In case you didn't know. Boom. The 90s.
Yes, the 90s are back right here on Universe Box. This week, we're talking about the 1990s. We'll sit down in front of the Idiot Box to watch the Clintons bump up against pop culture. Then we'll climb in the Wonder Box to discuss Seinfeld's The Puffy Shirt. In the School Box, we'll teach you about 90s fashion. We'll talk about all your favorites 90s songs in the Music Box. And finally, we'll put out some questions you submitted through the Idea Box, and we'll answer them and everything. It'll be a good time once we learn how to talk. It'll definitely be good.
She didn't watch Friends either.
She didn't watch Friends?
Win.
Oh, geez.
Win. I don't even know what to do with you right now.
No, that's fine.
What were you doing in the 90s?
Well, you know what? I think we have the perfect segment to go ahead and get started with then, because, it doesn't matter if she's watched it or not, because we're going to sit here and watch it ourselves in the Idiot Box. We've called the segment a couple things before, like the School Box or this box or that box.
We have many different boxes.
It's officially the Idiot Box. It's basically we sit and we do a commentary, but in the Idiot Box this week, we're going to sit back and make fun of films and shows from the past. This week, we're traveling to the White House to see the Clintons attempt comedy. Love them or hate them, the Clintons were everywhere in the 90s, and they tried their best to fit in with popular culture. First up is a Clinton-led parody of Forrest Gump, a classic 90s movie, and then we'll watch Steve Urkel travel to Washington for a powwow with the president. You can find links to both of these in our show notes, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started with the Idiot Box. You ready, Anne-Marie?
Yep.
Let's go in.
Woo!
Turn that down a little bit there. A feather floating through the air. That is both.
Oh.
It's a feather leaf. It's a fleef. A feather leaf. Scotty Rowland mentions flannel shirts and parachute pants. Classic 90s fashion.
Oh, it was a feather. Oh my.
There's Hillary Clinton. Hillary Gump.
Hi. My name's Hillary. Hillary Gump.
Hillary.
You can call me Hillary Rodham Gump.
That's some good green screen going on there, too.
That's beautiful.
Except on the Connie Chung show.
That must have been
You know,
some
that's
oblique
my
reference
thing.
to
back
something that
there.
happened on the Connie Chung
My
show.
mama always told me the White House is like a box of chocolates.
That's a weird
It's
thing.
pretty on
Odd,
the
very
outside,
odd.
but inside there's lots of nuts. Mama
So she
always
wants to
gave
be
me
one of the
good
nuts?
advice.
She is
Again?
one of the
She
nuts.
told
Well, she's
me
been one of the nuts. She'd
life
like to
is
be a nut
like
again.
A regional healthcare
Sometimes you
alliance.
feel
If
like a nut.
pool your risks
Sometimes you
with a
don't.
community
Welcome,
health
Tom DeGossett, to the
purchasing
chat room, by the way.
cooperative and mix in a prospective payment review, you can reach an ideal cost
bow, though.
containment
Can we-
ratio.
can
while
I don't
keeping
even know
the
what she's
single
talking
payer
about
at this
system
point.
Available.
I can barely
Now,
understand
I think
her.
I think
Good
she's pitching
advice.
health care.
I think she is pitching.
I give
healthcare.
people good advice too.
Do you
Been
then?
doing it for years. Like back in 1972, I was what you call a counterculture McGovernick. I even went to the convention.
And now we're going to learn
I
about
told Senator
the
McGovern,
political
"Wait
history
till
of Hillary
2 a.m.
Clinton."
to
Oh,
give
here
your
we go.
Nice.
speech.
Hippie
That
Clinton.
way, it will be on in prime time in Hawaii.
I like with how high quality the green screening in Forrest
Funny
Gump
thing,
was, how
he
low
carried
quality
one
the green
state,
screening
but
here was, and
wouldn't
she
you
was
know it,
actually there.
It wasn't Hawaii.
She was actually at the event, and
Seriously.
they terribly green screen. Oh, Dole 96. Bus goes by.
Mama always told me, Hillary
Why does her hair
life
keep
is like a
changing? I
hairstyle.
don't understand.
You just keep
Because that was a
changing it
thing.
till you find
It
something
was a big
that
thing
works.
that her hair kept changing.
Anyway,
No, I
in
remember that now because it was
1974,
always
I
like
went
on
to
like
Washington
fashion magazines
Oh,
and
wait,
everything. Like
Because
it
that's
was
a-
her and Jennifer Aniston.
that's when I
Like-
became
Well, that's
deep
about the time
throat.
when it became like a thing. If you're a politician, you're also a
Oh,
celebrity.
what's this? Oh, was Hillary Deep Throat? Oh my goodness, what a revelation!
Oh
I
my
thought it was that
gosh.
one dude, Mark Felt, I think it
have
was.
no idea.
See, that's actually pretty good. That was some good.
That was good.
good for the '90s anyway.
I wonder what happened to that nice Woodward fella.
You wrote the agenda.
Story yellers.
Oh.
People say in the chat room.
Anyway,
Yeah,
in the
that's
late
because they're correcting
70s,
Tanu, who
I
called us-
met President
I like
Carter.
that wig most of
He
all, the
was
blonde
a
curly.
nice
Oh,
man,
my.
but he worried a lot. So I gave him some
You know what this
advice,
kind of
too.
sounds like?
I said, Jimmy,
Hmm.
give a
the,
speech about
um,
mayonnaise.
I keep
Everybody
wanting to
loves
say the
mayonnaise.
Wheel of Progress,
but
the World of
evidently
Progress
he
at Disney,
misunderstood my
where he
Oh,
goes
okay.
from year to year. That's what this feels like.
Definitely, definitely.
At Andrews Air Force Base outside Washington, they said goodbye to him.
Oh, that was as good as the one from Deep Throat was. That one
Then
was
there
horrible.
Was this Greek
missed it.
fella,
You
Michael
missed it?
Dukakis.
You should have been
He
looking.
Was running
I'm sorry,
for
I was in
president
the
in
chat room.
1988, but he was kind of small. So I told him how he
told
could
him.
look more fearsome.
None of these look good. None of them look good.
Let's see. Let's try this one. A tank rolling through a field.
At that point, I began
There was
to
no-
think
She wasn't even there.
Democrat
No
was
CGI at
ever
all,
gonna
unless
win
that
again.
was supposed to be
That
her
any
at a
nutcase
younger age.
Republican could beat
Maybe.
any Democrat.
Definitely.
Jordan 96.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing a lot of like really in-depth political jokes here.
Yes.
Would you
Oh,
like a
there's
talk?
Bill.
Oh, hi, Bill.
Good old Bill.
There you go.
Well, you know, my mama always said reporters are like a box of chocolates. Too many of them can kill you, but the sweet ones are awful nice.
I don't think the Clintons are cut out for comedy. Honestly.
Not like this.
Like they really, I would have preferred Bill just come out and play the saxophone for about 20 minutes.
Cupid is as Cupid does.
Oh, that's awful.
This is just
That was
bad.
awful.
Bad. Go away, Feather. We
No,
don't like you
Feather,
anymore.
no.
Leave. I'm glad that
Awful.
was the short video.
So am I.
I
If
hope
it
the
wa-
next video is better.
I think if it was any longer, we'd have had to cut it.
Yeah, probably.
Hello, guys.
We can
Oh.
cut this one if we need
To
to.
pass my own clean air
I'm okay with that.
the Urkel errand. Most people think it's very difficult to get a bill
Good old
back,
Urkel.
But I'm here to show you that it's as easy as growing mold. Oh,
Urkel out in front of the White House. Doing his
okay,
Urkel thing.
Let's go right to the new
Tom DeGossett says,
Uno,
"Pass that
the
man a
head
sax."
honcho, the biggest guy of all. Mr. President. Mr.
Oh,
President.
look. There's Bill again.
My name is Stephen Q. Urkel, and I was wondering if you can endorse my Urkel air bill. It will definitely provide a clean and safe environment.
It looks like they kind of just like,
Read it first.
Well, that might be
like,
a good idea.
attacked-
Would you
yeah,
like a
attacked Bill
copy?
Clinton there, like
I would
to
like a copy of it.
Well, I'll make sure I get it over.
waylaid
to you.
him.
Oh,
This is the place to start.
Okay.
in the Congress first, then I get to sign.
I wonder if he knows who he is.
Well, it was the 90s. Everyone knew who Urkel was.
See, I wish I would. But see, you say that, but I really didn't know much about the Urkel.
Really?
I never watched it because I thought it was absolutely awful and annoying.
There was even Win watched Urkel. Family Matters.
All right, Win.
I'm Urkel
And the
walking
crossovers
down
when
the
Urkel was on
street.
Full House really agitated
I get my
me.
style of the way I wear socks from Urkel.
I know. Oy.
I'm Urkel on Capitol Hill.
I'm looking for someone to sponsor my latest
No one likes me.
bill.
Yes?
Okay.
Yes, Urkel? Said Bill. Hello. Bobby says Netflix will probably do a sequel to Family Matters called Did I Do That?
Well, you're Senator Bob Dole.
Ah.
Oh, here we go.
Bob Dole likes Urkel.
How did you get in here?
Bob Dole like Urkel. Bob Dole, welcome you to my office. Bob Dole signed bill for Urkel.
Or perhaps I can recite the first 100 pages to you. Let's see here.
100 pages, that's pretty short. Well, first
first
100.
100.
Which implies there's at least a second 100.
To clean air that will have a positive effect on all living organisms on this earth.
Isn't
And
Urkel
therefore,
a scientist?
I
Shouldn't he
submit for
just
your
create a
sponsorship
clean
the
air machine or
Urkel
something?
I don't.
If I sponsor your bill, will you get out of here?
Oh, yes.
Seriously, though, if your bill passes, it'd be better for all Americans, but you must have a House
Scotty
sponsor
says
because the
he'll
bill must
cosplay as
pass both
Urkel
the
with a
House
beard.
and Senate to
And
become
Bobby
law.
said he
Glorious.
thought that music was the theme song to Adam's Family Values.
Interesting.
I could tell that.
Oh. And we're turning it down so we don't get busted by the YouTube police. Cheese it, guys. It's the cops. It's the copyrighted music cops. There we go.
I just want to thank you for sponsoring my bill, and I especially want to thank you for just seeing me.
Well, thank you, Mr. Urkel. But you see,
Mr.
I'm new on
Urkel.
this, and I just didn't know any better.
Wow.
I wish that Stefan Urkel had been the dominant personality and had just like taken over.
You're a lobbyist.
How do you know?
Because we're in the lobby, baby.
Mr. Urkel,
Because you look kind of scummy. Yeah, that's about the long and short of it. And this is pre-Citizens United, too. That was a political joke that's relevant to today's times. It's weird. Feels awkward.
Holy moly, you're Tom Foley. The Speaker of the House. You're exactly the man I was looking for.
Holy moly, you're Tom Foley.
Well, yes. You see, I have this bill, and it's in both houses, but I don't know what happens next.
Well, here's how it works. Over there is the United States Senate, made up of 100
See, it's
senators,
really sad. When I was a kid,
two
I
from
was
each state.
too
And
geeky
over
to
there
be
is the United
Urkel.
States House of
Like I
Representatives,
was
so
so
we have
geeky that I was
445
too
representatives
geeky to even
representing
come up to the
all the
level of an
American
Urkel.
people.
But not
And for
very
your bill
smart.
to
I couldn't make,
become law,
you know,
a
transformation
majority,
machines,
at least half
time
plus
machines.
one of
What
each
else
one
did
of
he
those two
do?
bodies
I don't
has to
know.
approve it.
This is more of
before we
Urkel
vote
than
on it
I've
in the
ever
House of
watched in my
Representatives,
entire
we sent
life.
your bill to a
Well, it's
smaller
good. You're
group
getting
of
an education on
representatives called the
Urkel
Committee.
and how a bill
The
becomes a
Committee
law.
on Natural Resources.
I'm
They're
just
trying
an
to decide
Urkel
whether
up
they
on
can make your
Capitol
bill just a little bit
Flurkle.
better than it is now for
And it's a
all the
long,
people of the
long
country.
journey
And I've
to
just
the
been told
capital
that the Natural
city
Resources
and
Committee has
making a
reported your
bill,
the
a
Urkel
law.
Air Bill, and
It's an
recommended
original
that the full
composition,
House of
not
Representatives
based on
vote
anything
for
else.
it.
Nope, not at all.
I am in support of this legislation on behalf
Chairman, I do not support the bill, and I will not support the bill under any.
We could make this a
Good.
good bill.
It's being proposed by like a 14-year-old.
This is probably the worst piece
I warmly support this and hope
Wake up!
that it will
Wake up!
pass.
It's Newt Gingrich! Wake up! It's Newt Gingrich!
No.
Quick! He's
more-
right behind you. Newt Gingrich is right behind you.
The Urkel Air Bill was reported by the Natural Resources Committee.
The Urkel Air Bill.
The vote in the House
I wonder
was
if they actually
231
passed this,
for,
or if it was
204
like
against.
just a gimmick, like a
The Urkel Air Bill
PR
has now
stunt.
been passed by the House of Representatives.
Is it passed? It's passed. There we go.
Okay. My bill passed the House, but it's a little different than the one that passed in the Senate. In other words, my bill.
It
has
wasn't
two
my
bills,
thing, Bobby. I
and
didn't
these
watch
guys
too
are
much
gonna work out the
TGIF.
I'm not
Gonna
allowed
have
to
some
sign.
fun, show you how
But
it's
that's
done.
no problem for the
TGIF.
listening.
That was the jingle.
Apparently.
Oh.
Okay, Urkel's listening in a door now, and it's in the White House with both Monica Lewinsky and Clinton there. So I think we're gonna cut it short. Yeah, I don't know where that video goes after it. There'll be a link in the show notes. But
if you really feel like watching, if you're like me, just take
when he starts listening at closed doors at the White House, we just can't have that at all. So I guess we should go ahead and move on to the next segment.
Okay.
Now it's time to find out if we'll just rediscover the wonder we felt from our favorite movies and TV shows in the Wonder Box. Are you the master of your domain? No? Well, then no soup for you. That's right. We're talking about Seinfeld in the Wonder Box, and this in particular, an episode called The Puffy Shirt. What's the deal with puffy shirts? Did you ever have a puffy shirt, and there was a shirt, and there were puffs on it, because it was a puffy shirt?
But I don't want to be a pirate.
Okay, so Anne-Marie, we'll go ahead and turn this down a little bit here and everything. But why don't you go ahead and give us the rhyming episode summary, and then we'll get into our discussion.
Right. A low-talking woman makes a puffy shirt for Jerry to wear. It will sound an alert. George moves home, then becomes a hand model, causing his parents to constantly coddle. These selfish New Yorkers, legend is upheld in this classic episode of the sitcom Seinfeld.
Seinfeld. And I would just like to point before we move on that, some people are saying, did Steve see the stain on the blue dress?
Oh, here we go.
Did I do that? And all these sorts of things over in the chat room. You guys are awful.
Awful.
But we're going to listen to the song again. So overall, what did you think of the puffy shirt, Anne-Marie? This is season 5, episode 2, by the way, if you want to check it out.
It reminded me of everything I loved about Seinfeld, and watching it with my parents and talking about my cousins.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. Okay, you got it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll cut it down very low. There we go. No, I really liked it too. Like I wasn't the biggest full disclosure, I wasn't the biggest Seinfeld fan because we weren't allowed to watch it, and I didn't start watching it until it was in syndication. But I always liked it well enough. I enjoyed watching it. I even, when I was typing up my notes about this episode, I watched the next episode. Yeah, just because it was awesome.
What was the next episode?
I forget what it was now.
Good.
Well, I was typing up my notes for this episode. So.
Yeah.
No, but one thing, the first thing I really wanted to point out was kind of towards the end, after George has become a hand model and everything, and he's talking to Mr. Ernst from Hey Dude.
Hey Dude.
He hears the legend of Ray, about this hand model named Ray who was the best hand model ever, and then fell in love with his hand and ruined his hand a little bit, which we'll leave your imagination to that.
Well, let's just say he was not the master of his domain.
Yeah, but the whole description of this guy named Ray was completely over the top, just completely like really dramatic and almost kind of like operatic in its intensity.
It was a claw.
And I absolutely loved it. It was kind of like George had stumbled onto this secret professional world, which with its own myths and legends, which is really cool. And there was a callback to the episode The Contest.
Yes.
Contest. Anne-Marie was just talking about Master of the Domain and whatnot. Now, in Top of the Rock, a book I read a couple months ago about the must-see TV on NBC, they said that the network really leaned on Seinfeld and Larry David to put a bunch of catchphrases into the show. So anytime they did one, they always tried to make it something completely awful. Like, so, the master of my domain thing, kind of a synonym for masturbation or whatnot. And the Dolores joke from a couple seasons later and stuff. So I wonder if since they took so much joy in doing that, if this callback was demanded by NBC or if they put it in just because they were like, well, it's the catchphrase now, so we can use it as much as we want.
Well, I just love the fact that it's the guy, the Ray, the Mr. Ernest character, that says he wasn't the master of his domain, and Jordan's like, I won a contest.
Definitely. And people in the Scotty Rowland in the chat room and Tom DeGossa both point out that Seinfeld was a Superman fan. Yes, he was. So if maybe we should have talked about Seinfeld in our episode last week, Superman.
No.
But I turned off the lower third here. Oops. Yeah, but definitely, I thought that was interesting. So you had something you wanted to talk about George and his parents.
Georgie and his parents. Okay, let's just start with just his mother first. That woman really does never laugh. Like when he was saying that she never laughs, never giggles, never teekees, never goes, ha! I was like, no, she had to have laughed in some episode. And I'm sitting there thinking and thinking and thinking. And then she comes on screen and I'm like, oh my gosh, she doesn't. She doesn't even crack a smile.
See, I kind of like the scene they had in there in the beginning where it was kind of like the reversal of the classic, my dad's better than your dad thing. My parents are worse than your parents.
Yes, that was fantastic. I love that she brings them a giant tray of bologna sandwiches. It's like, eat, take a bologna sandwich. And they're like, no, we're good. And she's like, why? Take the sandwiches. Take them and give them to the people in the building. And she's so mad that they won't take these bologna sandwiches that they didn't ask for, as if they had asked for them. I don't know why. I think it's hilarious. She helps George with his manicure, which was absolutely precious. And then she kept hitting him when he had like scissors.
Yeah. Well, I definitely love the way that she completely started fawning over him the second he got something in his life that was positive.
Oh yeah.
And meanwhile, Dad was having none of it. Like he was like trying to find every way possible to make George's life miserable, as his mom was like taking care of his hands.
Give it a blue. Excuse me. Though it was hysterical that like as soon as 2 minutes after he's moved in, he's like, oh, maybe I'll meet up with you guys for dinner. No, George! We're meeting up with your father for dinner. It was hilarious. But then with like adding Dad to the situation, they're constantly screaming. They're constantly bickering. They're constantly criticizing, and they're constantly telling George what to do with his life. Like, take the civil service exam. What am I going to do with the civil service exam? Just take the exam. Who knows what you're going to do with it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh no!
You just had this look like she's lost.
Oh no! I was watching the show.
Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, a high hope in the chat room.
High hope in the chat room.
Okay, well, I thought I'd talk a little bit just in case people hadn't watched the episode like we did. I'd kind of make a couple points about the general nature of the show. First of all, I wanted to talk about the comedic tone in general of Seinfeld. Now, usually, and this episode is a great example of it, the comedy comes from misunderstandings stacking up on top of each other until the whole plot kind of falls down on top of the main characters. The misunderstandings usually come from the cast being inconsiderate or trying to selfishly avoid conflict or a fight or just an awkward situation. Curb Your Enthusiasm, which one of the two co-creators of the show, the George Costanza stand-in in real life, Larry David, his show Curb Your Enthusiasm on HBO, does pretty much the same thing now, but the Larry character on that show chooses to be a jerk where
a joik.
A joik.
He chooses to be a joik.
A jerk, where these characters are more just kind of, they're sort of weak-willed and they just want to avoid things and they're trying to judo step their way out of it. Now, this show always nails the endings, I think. Everything kind of always falls together at the end. Like in this one, for example, the progression started, okay, we have the puffy shirt that Jerry has to wear to promote the charity event for the homeless. Then he fails to promote the shirt on the charity event promo thing, so the event fails, and so the homeless guys get the puffy shirts at the end of it.
I love that the homeless guy gets them. Spare. They went into character.
Yeah, but they always, on Seinfeld, they always take great care in trying to make the plots kind of all fall together at the end, which sometimes can feel a little forced, like in this episode, such as everybody and their brother being allowed backstage during the Today Show interview. And, only for George to burn his hands and ruin his hand modeling career. So there's a lot of coincidences, but they're usually pretty funny.
But that's how that always works. I actually, I don't have this in here, so I'm just going to throw it here because it's kind of relevant. I love how there's so many different storylines and they're all wrapped up in a nice, neat little bow in a half an hour. I'm like, yes!
Oh, and I see a Hope in the chat room mentioning that she hasn't seen Seinfeld because she wants to watch it in order. No, you don't have to watch Seinfeld in order.
You don't need to. You really don't need to.
It's almost like, I mean, there are some plot lines that carry between episodes, but I mean, it's almost a complete anthology series like The Twilight Zone or something, to where you just have to know that they're friends and they're selfish.
Just enough.
Yeah.
There's just enough to do it. I would, if you feel like you need to start something from the beginning, I would just start at the beginning of a season.
Yeah,
there's not going to be much callback. From
and honestly, like the first two seasons are kind of hit and miss. If you want to start on season 3, that's where it kind of picks up for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Kramer. Jerry, we have to go back to the future. Oh wait, no, that's Doc Brown.
Wrong guy. Sorry.
Kind of similar physicality.
A little bit. His physical comedy is hilarious. Like the second he does the Kramer entrance, I'm like, yay! It's like, yes, party! I'm all back to it.
And they have to stop for 20 seconds for the audience to applaud.
Every single time.
Every single time.
The fact that he does the joy buzzer to George right after he's discovered he's a hand model. He's like, what? It's a dresser. It's my hand model. It's fantastic. And then just the picture of him sitting in the dressing room at the Today Show, smoking a Cuban, reading Variety. There's Kramer.
Wanting Jerry to dress like a
pirate.
Yeah.
It's like a pirate.
Yeah, I just like how you got to respect how relaxed Kramer is at all times.
At all times. Well, and the fact that he offered for George to move in, and George is like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, and I just realized that, don't take that the wrong way. I know he's a very frantic character, but I mean, he's relaxed within his own skin. Like he's never uncomfortable in a situation. He oftentimes dominates the situation, but you know, he's always like very relaxed and very, he's more Kramer than Kramer, the real Kramer. Okay, so his girlfriend in this episode was a low talker who talks like this. And you can't hear her, right? So this is something else that Seinfeld always did sorry, I said it, so we have to play the music now. Yeah, but Seinfeld always did really, really good, and that's taking little quirks or little micro ticks, like, for example, the low talking thing, and attaching a label to them for the rest of us. It's, you know, it's something that we've all noticed in people that we know, but that we, you know, we didn't have a name for before Seinfeld kind of identified it and pulled it out and came up with it and labeled it. And this is one of the reasons why the show was so popular. It was in part due to the fact that, you know, moments like Low Talkers, Puffy Shirt, Master of Your Domain, all these were big water cooler moments where whether you were at work or at school, you know, you'd come in, I forget what night Seinfeld was usually on. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. You'd come in the next morning and everyone would be talking about that episode. If you turned on the Today Show, they'd be talking about last night's Seinfeld episode and everything. So, and that's something that we really don't have a lot these days because, you know, there's so much media out there, very like kind of niche media for whatever your particular niche is, that we don't really have like a big national conversation about a TV show very much anymore. Now, luckily, you know, niches like, say, Once Upon a Time that we're very familiar with, kind of operate in the same way, but it's a self-selecting group of people who just like the show, not people who want to be part of the conversation necessarily. So, you know, it can't get a little...
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. It can get a little rah-rah fanny a little bit.
But it doesn't really pull in new people. Like having that opportunity of having a water cooler conversation was able to pull more people into watch the show. And you don't have that now because so many people, like, you can share something on social media, but if somebody's not interested, they're just going to scroll by it.
Yeah,
You're not,
for sure,
in a sense, shoving it down their throat. And if you are, they're going to block you.
Yeah, but I just thought it was interesting and definitely wanted to point out that aspect of how Seinfeld always operated back in the day.
Little more on the Low Talker, her actual character. I just absolutely love that she, in a sense, tricks Jerry into wearing the puffy shirt. I know she's not trying to trick him, but she does. Like, how did it not come up again once Kramer got back to the table? That he was going to be wearing the shirt. You feel like she...
Well, maybe it did, and they just didn't hear, and they kept doing the same thing.
Yeah, but I feel like she would have said something... Yeah, but Kramer could hear her.
Oh, okay.
Kramer could understand her. So I'm surprised she didn't go, Kramer, he's going to wear it.
Well, I almost got the impression that Kramer was like, hey, I have my buddy named Jerry who's like a really... he's a really big star. He's going to be on the Today Show. I know you like your puffy shirts and you want them to be popular. Yeah. Maybe you just talk really... I almost think it sounds like it could definitely be a scam by Kramer, I think.
It could be, but it's not because before they even agree to go to the dinner, they're like... the Low Talker.
Oh, okay. So it's been a previously
it's already
established
a previously
thing.
Established.
But well,
even if we've never actually seen her on the show, it's previously established just in an earlier scene.
Yeah, I'm sure Kramer probably at least kind of suggested maybe
she
should ask Jerry about it though.
But I just love that he has no idea what's going on. Nobody can hear her. Nobody can hear her. Nobody can hear her. The second he starts going, I hate the shirt. She's like, ah! Like freaks out. And Brian Gumble goes, did you hear that? I heard that. And then pushes George and ruins his modeling career.
Yeah.
It was glorious.
Speaking of that moment,
I
felt really bad for George there because, I mean, the whole episode it's being set up, you know, he's at the lowest point of his life. He's like in his mid-30s or however old he was, having to move back in with his parents in shame and, you know.
Shame.
Yeah, and just miserable because of it because he hates his parents, right? So when he stumbles across this woman who discovers his beautiful hands, he finds someone who values him. Then he just gets it ripped away right when his position in the world finally matches his inflated ego that he's always had. Like he's always been a very George is the center of this story kind of guy. And he finally gets to a point where there's something special about him that, you know, lifts him up to the level he is in his head.
Yes.
And it gets all ripped away in like 4 seconds. And of course, it's from someone within the group of friends who does it. Elaine pushing him into the iron.
It wasn't Elaine.
Oh, wasn't it Elaine?
No, it was the low talker.
See, I thought it was Elaine because that's why she was taking care of him to make up for it. Because she pushed him into the iron. Or like,
no, it was the low talker.
Oh, was it the low talker? Okay.
I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Elaine because she was trying to get back. But, I mean, it's not that important. But so, transitions you wanted to talk about.
I can do both. Who pushed George into the iron? But I love the fact that there are those transitions with the... Like, I love that. Yeah, go ahead and play it. But it was...
Sorry, go ahead.
I just liked the... Who does it? I'm sorry, I got there.
So transition.
Furious, she poses... Ha! It was her. It was the girl. Not,
it was the low talker?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
So that was worth it for me. No, I just loved... I like that. I like the indication of that we're changing scenes. And I don't know, you don't really get now. We prefer...
Well, like,
snappy.
It almost got a little overbearing on me, them using that music every single time. Like, just a little bit, but I mean, that's kind of the style of the show, too. Yeah. And Angel in the chat room mentions, and Scotty, they're talking about spoilers on Twitter as far as shows like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's another big problem is if you want to be part of the conversation, you kind of have to find a decent back channel to do it in because people get so upset about spoilers these days.
Oh, it drives me nuts when
Yeah,
people get upset about
I hate the spoiler police. Like, what I hate most of all is like, I'm going to an online community or something to talk about a show or something, and someone's posted a thread about it, and, you know, it's a really active thread. Everyone's talking about it, and then someone comes in there who's seen the episode complaining about it not being marked for spoilers, just like, you know, someone out there might be...
Shut up.
Sure, if you have an issue with spoilers, please... complain, and you know, we'll try and modify our behavior to help accommodate you so you can join the conversation. But if it's not even affecting you, don't come in there and complain. Sorry, just got on my nerves. Okay, wonder
we should
test.
have done a soapbox.
does the Seinfeld pass the wonder test? Does it give you the same wonder it gave you back in the day?
Yes.
Okay, so Anne Marie, does it pass the wonder test for you?
Yeah, I guess.
Why?
Yes, it's just it's nostalgia for me, but it's still hilarious. Like, I was sitting upstairs with headphones in watching it, cackling out loud, and he came up to check on me to make sure I was okay. Because
well, you were pretty loud.
It was hilarious. And it was nice to watch something that made me genuinely laugh like that. While I had a kid climbing on me, a kid fighting me for a treat for no good parent reason. Like, I was still able to pay enough attention for a couple of good guffaws.
Yeah.
So, how about you?
And as for me, yes, indubitably, yes. Seinfeld, it's a classic, and while the laugh track doesn't age well, the jokes do. Every episode is like a little play. They feel like a play, with a couple little cutscenes here and there. I wasn't a huge fan of Seinfeld when it was on the air, but it still makes me laugh. Like, every joke still completely landed for me. And I think Jay VZ on Twitter, when I tweeted out, I was impressed with it. He was like, well, what about all the plot lines that they have that a cell phone could have solved? But I was late to the cell phone game, so I don't think it affected me that much or it bothered me that much.
Well, that's the hardest part of watching anything from, you know, pre-now.
Yeah.
Is you just go, well, if they'd had a cell phone, they'd be fine.
Yeah,
If they'd had an iPhone, they'd have been fine.
Wynn in the chat room says, I love spoilers, big time saver. That's me. I like reading spoilers for things before I watch them because then I can pay attention to the performance, the direction, all that kind of stuff, the musical score, because I don't have to worry about paying attention to the plot as much.
Exactly.
Let's see.
It passes for Scotty. Tana says still stands out as completely unique. And Nicole said she can watch Seinfeld any day of the week.
Any day of the week for sure. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break here so we can all relive some old 90s commercials and learn how to do a classic dance in a second here.
Oh, here we go.
But we'll be back in a few minutes to talk 90s fashion and music. So please stick around. We love you.
Woo.
We'll be right back.
Now, come on, guys. There's a bevy of beauties over there just waiting to be swept off their doctor's shoulder. So what do you say, funsters? Let's dance. Well, okay. I'll break the ice. Harv, crank up the music. It's time to do the Urkel. Bend your knees and stick out your pelvis. I'm telling you, baby, it's better than Elvis. Now point your fingers up to the sky and pop through your nose way up high. Spin and dip and jump and cavort and finish it off with a laugh and snort.
Jamming, too hip and on fire.
Step by Step is up next. If it's not, I'm a liar.
But it is, so you're not. And here's what they've got. They've got fun by the ton mixed into the plot.
Karen's the problem when a message is key. She forgets to tell Frank where he shouldn't be.
The result? The wrong time, and of course the wrong place. Poor Frank is in trouble. You'll see by his face.
Yo, my name is the Prince. Stop whatever you're doing and listen to this. You know, sometimes there's just nothing to do at home, so now you can call me and Prince on the telephone. The inside scoop, all the hip-hop scene. Just dial the number on your TV screen. It's my latest creation. Prince, you're bugging, it's mine. All right, it's ours, and it's called the New Rap Hotline. So give us a call. The new line is kind of deaf. Dial 1-900-909-DEAF.
$2 the first minute, 35 cents each additional minute.
Got your credit card? It's Mall Madness.
Sale at the shoe store.
The new shop till you drop game that really talks.
Sale at the fashion boutique.
It's all the fun of a shopping spree. With Mall Madness, you get it all. A bank account and your own credit card.
Clearance at the sunglass boutique.
Mall Madness really talks. To win, buy everything on your list and be first out of the mall.
I win! Attention, mall shoppers.
Mall Madness, the electronic shopping game that really talks. From Milton Bradley. It's the mall with it all.
It's the Creepy Crawler Super Oven.
Wow! Make a mole! A super oven and a timer.
Makes bigger, better bugs. And now you can make your own Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Cool.
It makes super-sized bugs and Power Rangers super fast.
That's why they call it the Super Oven.
The Creepy Crawler Super Oven comes with everything here. Other mold packs and plastic goods on separate. Your parents put it together. Light bulb and batteries not included. From Toymax.
Statistics show that 40% of all kids who smoke marijuana live in the city. Guess where the other 60% live?
Sneak into the kitchen for a snack without waking Daddy. Land on a noise, and you have to press Daddy's alarm clock. Will he wake up?
brother.
Hey, you know the really cool thing about being a grown-up? You can order Pizza Hut pizza whenever you feel like it. Heck, you can even eat 23 slices. Okay, there is one bad part. You will have to work.
Let's turn to the overhead.
Or not. Introducing the Flipper Squirt toys from the summer hit Flipper and Pizza Hut. Scar and Flipper are $1.69 each with a purchase of any pizza. They're so much fun, even you'll like them. Pizza Hut, you'll love the stuff we're made of.
Now my peanut butter crunch cereal tastes even better.
With more peanut butter taste, it tastes better.
You can even see the difference.
And taste it.
That better peanut butter crunch taste will have you screaming for more! And it's a delicious part of this balanced breakfast.
So, do you think peanut butter crunch tastes better? Me too.
Now peanut butter crunch tastes better. They like it.
Attention! Your gym teacher escaped from charm school, irons his underwear, watches hygiene films. He says,
anyone chewing bubble tape owes me 50 push-ups.
The lunch lady wears a hairnet, serves mashed potatoes with an ice cream scoop, puts gravy on everything. She says,
Bubble tape is not part of a well-balanced diet.
Bubble tape, it's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them.
Be like the Dark Knight himself. Be Batman with Fox Kids. You can win every single Batman toy, including your own Batman figure made to look just like you.
Hang on!
You'll also win a year's supply of Batman comics and special comic book cover art with you as Batman.
That should get their attention.
1,000 others win a Legends of Batman action figure and a Batman comic book. Feeling lucky? Send us a postcard with your name and address by May 24th to Fox Kids Be Batman, P.O. Box 1129, Los Angeles 90078.
Backdoor Show.
And we're back. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed those commercials. We had some people talking in the chat room about them here. A lot of people like Perfect Strangers.
Yep,
Always good. Ton DeGossa was doing the Balky laugh. They enjoyed the Captain Crunch commercial. People like the bubble tape.
Remembering that Pizza Hut used to have toys.
Yes, Pizza Hut used to have toys, so all sorts of fun, and we did the Urkel. So if you weren't watching the video version, we literally got up and did the Urkel during the show.
The download.
Yeah, definitely. Go check out youtube.universebox.com and check that out for sure. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, we wanted to mention just a couple of things here real quick before we get into the rest of the segments. First of all, just real quick, I have a new prose title out this week that I thought some people might be interested in because it's set in the 90s. Yeah, it's set in the 90s, and it's called Bert is Evil, the true story behind the web's first viral hit. It's basically, there was a website back in the 90s called Bert is Evil. There was kind of like a satirical take on Sesame Street and all that kind of stuff. And I went and interviewed the guy who created it, and it was embroiled in controversy. Like there was a big protest in the Middle East that used images from the site and all sorts of stuff. He got attacked by Fox News. Really interesting story.
Never mind.
What was that?
I was going to say, it takes a lot to get attacked by Fox News.
Yeah, but it's sort of a little piece of original journalism if you want to check it out. And you can find that at bit.ly/BertIsEvilStory, or just search for my name, Bill Meeks, on any of the book sites you use, like Kindle or Nook or Kobo or whatever. It's out
Whatever
everywhere.
You use, he's there.
For sure. And we also wanted to discuss our Patreon real quick, right, Anne-Marie?
Yes! Scrolling.
What is a Patreon?
All right, a Patreon is a fantastic way for you to help contribute a little monthly donation to all of our shows. Right now, as most of you know, we are doing 3 weekly shows. One for Once Upon a Time, one's for Gotham, and, well, Universe Box. So we would like to, up our quality and up our content, and this is a great way for that to happen. Right now, we have 24 patrons for $155 a month, so that is absolutely fantastic, and we love you for it.
Yes, thank you so much.
We have hit our first 2 milestones, and we are rapidly approaching our third, which is going to be some Patreon-exclusive movie commentaries.
Yeah, and by the way, one of those milestones we hit was a monthly hangout with our patrons, which we're having one this Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. EST. And if you're a patron, we'll post a link for you to join in the hangout and be on the hangout with us.
Absolutely.
That night, probably about 20 or 30 minutes before that. So
sure. Yep. And there might be a little bonus in there for you.
Yeah, mayhaps.
Just saying. But those movie commentaries are going to be awesome. We'll sit down, we'll watch some really classic and some popular movies, and give you a little bit of a Mystery Science Theater over top of it.
Yeah, kind of like we did with the Idiot Box a few minutes ago.
Yeah, a few minutes ago. We'll do that. You can donate anything starting at 10 cents. And like we said, we really do appreciate any support you can give us. Go ahead to patreon.com/universebox.
Yes, patreon.com/universebox. And we definitely...
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we definitely want to thank everyone who's donated so far, too.
Absolutely. I also want to point out over on our YouTube, there's a way if you can't commit to a monthly donation and you'd like to, you have an extra $5 this month, you don't know if you'll have it next month, please feel free to go ahead over on YouTube. There's an option to make a donation to the site.
Yeah, either through the channel page or there should be one right around where it says story on your video screen there. But thank you to everyone who's helped us so far.
Much. And we really appreciate it.
We can't wait to bring you some more great content coming up here the next couple months. Okay, so now it's time for the school box. So Anne-Marie, I'm gonna give this over to you, okay? Because I'm not too sure what's going on here.
Neither am I. Let's just go with it. Okay.
Oh, and Wynn says your shows are awesome. You'll hit 200 soon. Thank you, Wynn.
Thank you, Wynn.
One of our patrons.
Absolutely. Okay, so this week in the school box, we are going to learn about fashion through the 90s.
Turn to the left.
Fashion to the left. That's the right. That's the left. But I'm going to start with my my lip smackers first. There you go. We'll get all set. So we've talked about TV, and now it's time to talk about fashion, which a lot of it is inspired by TV, movies, music. You go from grunge and heroin chic to the shiny happy people of the boy band and Britney Spears era. So we are going to cover it all. Let me let you get that picture up first.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the first one we have for the early, mid, and late 90s were all very different, which is so crazy because it is only 10 years. But at the beginning of the 90s was a little bit of carryover 80s, but it was also the emergence of the supermodel and, well, heroin chic, if you will, which was a lot of Kate Moss and the Calvin Klein ads and the waif, itsy bitsy teeny weeny, you can see their ribs type of people. For men, it was more grunge, more Nirvana type of stuff. Second row, middle picture. Oh, no. This is like a whole different. Hold on.
Well, this is still pretty grungy.
Yeah, but that was not what I want. Hold on. I think it's over all the way to the right. The white one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Because it gives you the basic description
I see that
of a
now.
perfect grunge. You've got your ripped jeans. You've got an excessive amount of flannel. Your dirty, unwashed hair, the shoes. This is grunge, basically.
This
is grunge. Okay. Moving right along to the mid 90s. I have a couple of different ones here. See, I figured you were going to have these up already, so I didn't. Number 15 on the first link, so you may have to scroll.
Hold on one second here. I'm getting them pulled up.
Okay.
You can go ahead and keep talking.
Okay. The mid 90s is what they called it glamour on everything I saw, but it was also really kind of referred to as sexy schoolgirl, which comes a lot from two main influences, Clueless and Empire Records. So you have the little skirt, you've got the knee highs, the socks, the little collared shirts, which is a lot of what you're going to get from, let's see, down.
Oh, there's Ethan Embry.
That one.
Right
of the
here.
two of them. It's all these short skirts, the little crop top sweaters. It was a lot of that. With Doc Martens, big clunky Doc Martens, which made no sense to me. But maybe because I never owned a pair.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Impressive.
Scotty in the chat room says that he dressed grunge mostly.
I could see that.
Angel says, did we know that they're bringing back Jinko jeans?
Absolutely. Yes. Coming up later in the broadcast. There's actually a lot of 90s fashions that are sort of coming back around because we've already hit that far.
Yeah, the loop around.
The loop around is coming.
Yeah,
and you know what? I will support it.
Ton DeGassa says, I was more baggy pants with flannel, basic Kobo style. And the thing is, like, yeah, the 90s were coming back around. I never upgraded my style, so
I
I'm
didn't
good to
upgrade
go.
a lot of mine either.
Excellent.
It's okay. So for men in the mid 90s was a lot of preppy and hip hop, which I know that doesn't sound like it goes together, but that opened up that top one. This is like the absolute beginning of the explosion of Tommy Hilfiger.
Snoop D-O double G right there.
What I was reading is he wore this on SNL. It was sold out across the country within a week.
Nice.
I also totally owned a pair of I saved up to buy a pair of Tommy Hilfiger jeans.
Even Bugs Bunny wore
Yeah.
Tommy Hill.
Go to number 5.
Go to
a little
number 5
further,
here.
a little
All right,
further.
here we go.
But then you also had the preppy side of it
Mhm.
with Michael Jackson. But it's the it's like the collegiate sweater.
That's a very baggy sweater for Michael Jackson. You
Yes.
normally don't see him in stuff that baggy.
You know what? He probably got paid a heck of a lot of money to wear it. So, but it's the label. And there was a lot about the label. You had a lot of Adidas and Nike and any of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Late 90s. For women, they were calling it casual chic. And any woman worth her salt owned the velour jumpsuit because we all loved Miss J-Lo. I hate to say
She's
that
just Jenny from the block.
She's Jenny from the block.
Just Jenny.
I have seen these coming back. Thank you, Kardashians. Please don't make these come back, people. No, I don't care if it's Juicy Couture. It should not come back. So that was.
Is that what the JC stands for? Juicy Couture?
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
a pretty big label.
Fair enough.
You're welcome. And a lot of what men had, they were calling it rave culture, but the Jankos, and
Yeah.
as the article says, the Jankos are coming back. From what I can tell, they're not coming back as massive.
Uh-huh.
They're updating it for
Oh, that's
sure.
a shame.
I mean, I'm sure they'll get to them.
Because this was actually one of my predominant styles in the
Mhm.
90s was the Jenko jeans. And if you're not familiar, these jeans are like, you could fit an elephant leg in them. But then the waist was small and tight and, fit you properly and everything. But I used to carry textbooks and like laptop computers in the back pockets of these things.
Because laptops are massive then.
Yeah, yeah. So they were functional. They were fun and functional.
They were fun and functional. So those are just your sort of basics, but I included a few extra fun ones. Some of my personal favorites. Like I said, the first one, the Rayanne.
Hold on, I'm getting them all.
You're opening them all? Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So my so-called life. Sure, it didn't last more than about you're not going to be, I don't know if you're able to zoom in because it, yeah.
Oh.
What are you doing?
Rayanne.
Oh, that works. Rayanne. But she was, you're just going through everybody. That works. So my so-called life. Drool. Hello,
There's
Jared
the Joker.
Leto.
Look at that Joker.
Hey, look at that Joker.
Look at that Joker.
But, most people missed my so-called life the first go-round because they canceled it so quick. And then everybody of my age got obsessed with it and can watch it on marathon form over and over again. Yep. Been there, done that. Love it.
One of the best one-season shows.
I can't believe
like
it's only
network
one
shows
season.
ever.
It's
like this and Freaks and Geeks,
That
which
was a
is
one
another.
season?
Yeah, that was a one season too. Another '90s show.
Nice.
Died way before their time.
But the thing is, they didn't pick up that popularity until they'd been canceled. So that was the problem. The next one is my spirit animal, Gwen Stefani. Love. There will be more about her later, but that is where my fashion has come from. The crunchy hair and the bindi. The amount of times I used a stick-on earring for a bindi is kind of ridiculous.
Nicole says she remembers a big thing in junior high was Arizona jean jackets.
Yes.
Which Arizona jeans, it sounds super familiar, and I know it. I'll Google it here in a second after we get to your last
Pretty sure
thing.
they're a Walmart or JCPenney or something.
Yeah. But speaking of jeans.
Exactly. The infamous jean couple.
Yes, Brittany and
Timberlake
Justin.
and Brittany. Congratulations, Mr. Timberlake, on your new baby. But I mean, this is
baby. Sorry.
that's about as classic as you could get. They were the power couple of the late 90s.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, if you've never seen it here, he has a full jean suit on, like 3-piece suit with a cowboy hat made entirely of denim, and Brittany's carrying a denim purse with a denim dress.
She's a full formal denim dress.
Which is always kind of fun.
There is just a quick glimpse at fashion of the 90s.
Any other fun stuff from the chat room?
I don't know. I've been presenting. No, not really. There's
I'm just looking for an Arizona jean jacket here. Just 'cause.
excitement over Alicia Silverstone, Clueless, Empire Records. My brother was hip hop. I was grunge. My friend was goth. Jeez, Bobby, that must have been an interesting situation. What is? Oh, is that the jacket?
Yeah, that's the jacket here.
Scotty.
What's that?
Oh, go to the chat and follow the link. Go to the chat and follow the link.
Let's see here. Oh, geez. Oh, talk about 90s, Scotty.
There it
Jeez.
is, man.
Yeah.
There
you
it
guys
is.
owe it to yourself to go to,
follow
Scotty's
that link.
Twitter,
Yeah.
Scotty Rowland, at Scotty Rowland, to see his 90s yearbook photo. That is amazing.
That's glorious.
That is phenomenal. I might have to dig mine up at some point here, too.
All of mine are in Cleveland.
Are they?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I almost pulled out, I have my scrapbooks are in the other room. I was going to pull some of those out because I have middle ones. And I have like notebooks. And literally I have a bag of notes that were passed in middle school, which I'm sure are god awful and embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. I think you're cute. Do you think I'm cute?
Yeah. There was one time. Okay. Do you want an embarrassing story time of Anne Marie?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So I was a dork. I had very few friends. I like to pretend I had friends, but I didn't. Oh. Hi.
Sorry, I just found my 90s picture
go ahead.
here.
We'll show
Okay,
talk about that.
I'll show this my deep shame, and you can tell your story while we look at it. There we go. Go ahead, continue with your story.
But I had a little notebook that I carried around with me, and I wrote down all the boys, and I rated them on who I thought was the cutest. And it got found by one of the really popular girls. So we can all imagine how that went. Awful. Everyone knew. Everybody talked about it. Ugh.
Yeah, okay, let's get my ugly mug off there.
Yeah, if we could.
That's an exclusive for the video people. Okay, so let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment now. And this is the music box. So we saw the sign. It opened up our eyes. We saw the sign. So we're going to pull out our Mr. Boombastic boom box so we can stop playing games with your heart. Yep, we're going to talk about some of our favorite 90s music in the music box. Now, we'll each talk about a couple of songs we love and share a story about the songs we love. But you can find the playlist we did of 90s songs.
And I'll keep adding to it.
Yeah, really awesome playlist over at bit.ly/universebox90s. Here, I'll show you guys real quick. Yeah, but Emery put up a nice little playlist here. I finally got a
Scotty
Spotify
added
account.
into it. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Excellent.
He's actually got one on our list here coming up.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, but let's see here. So I guess what we'll, yeah,
it's awful.
It's not going to load. That's
Probably
fine.
not because we have a little bit going on.
It's cool. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll go through our top 10 songs from the list here, and we're gonna try and sing.
These are arbitrary.
Yeah, we're gonna try and sing them a little bit too, and then we'll get in and talk about the songs that we really want to talk about. So, song number 1 is. It's been 1 week since you looked at me, turned your head to the side and said you're angry. 5 days since you laughed at you. Get back together, come back. See, go ahead.
You should not be stuttering on those lyrics, sir.
I mashed up 2 verses in my head. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. Go ahead.
Okay.
And that was 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies.
In case you're surprised by that. Oh, see, you gave me songs that weren't on my list. That's what's not fair here. Okay. Let me just move the mic very far away. No. Okay.
Yeah.
It's from Counting Crows, Mr. Jones. Was it Mr. Jones and me? I don't really remember it that much.
Okay, the next one is Freak on a Leash by Korn. And looking like a freak on a leash. Some people can never be free. 7-string guitar.
That was my song. Oh, God. Okay. All right, Scotty. This one's all for you. Hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you. Stand up, little girl. A broken heart can't be that bad. Goodbye. We're done.
And that's To Be With You by Mr. Big.
Awful. I don't sing.
Okay, and my next song is Power in the Money, Money in the Power, minute after minute, hour after hour. I've been chilling and waiting so long that even my mama said that my mind is gone, and I ain't never slapped it. Who didn't deserve it? And Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. I'm lucky. I'm actually surprised I didn't start doing the Weird Al version.
I actually almost added the Weird Al version to the playlist. Okay.
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 So
next is Inside Out by U6. Why does that look wrong? Okay. Okay. I would swallow my pride, I would choke on the rinds, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside. Swallow my doubt, turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. Wanna put my tender heart in a blender, watch it spin round to a beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then I'm through with you. Sorry, that was that was my warm-up song for monologues in college. So I had like this really angry breakup monologue, and I would pace the lobby screaming it with my headphones in on full blast to
Nice.
get like done.
I remember that was a buzzworthy clip on MTV back in the day, if you remember those.
Yes.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Please stick to the river and rivers that you're used to. I know that you're gonna take it, you're having your way or nothing at all. But I think you're moving too fast. Waterfalls by TLC there.
In case you didn't know. Okay. I saw the sign. And
Oh, no. I'm shutting this down. That's the sign by Ace of Base. Just stop right now. It was just too much. Too much. I had visions. I was in them. I was looking into the mirror to see a little bit clearer. The rottenness and evil and Flagpole Sitter by Harvey Danger.
That's all you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm sure this one's going to get like nothing. I
actually can do a decent version of this if you want me to.
Please do it.
Okay. For the life of me, I could not remember why we thought that we were wise and we never compromise. For the life of me, I cannot believe we'd ever die for these things. We were merely the freshmen by the Verve Pipe, which is the last song on our top 10.
I'm sorry for anyone who just had to listen to that.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and talk about a couple of these songs, tell some stories about them.
Yes.
Angel says, totally not cool, Bill. I'm not sure why.
Probably for shutting me down.
Oh, probably. That's fine. Okay, but I have a story about 1 Week by Bare Naked Ladies, but we figured we'd go ahead and play a little bit of a cover for you if you've never heard it before.
Here we go.
So here we go.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Crossed the head to the side and said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me, saying get that together, come back and see me. 3 days since I've lived in room. Realized it's all my fault, but couldn't tell you. Yesterday you've forgiven me, but it'll still be today till I say I'm sorry.
Yeah, and if you want to check out these cover versions, we pull out some really good ones, so we'll have the links for those in the show notes at universebox.com. But okay, my story about 1 week, first of all, Bare Naked Ladies, obviously one of my favorite bands, but I didn't really get into them like as hardcore as I am now until right before their album After Stunt that 1 week was on, Maroon, came out, so around 2000 or so. But I did see this song during this one magical week where we had no adult supervision. One magical week where we had no adult supervision at home and we were allowed to watch whatever we wanted, listen to whatever we wanted, do whatever we wanted. There were no adults around at all. So I found my love through WOMP FM, 105.5 WOMP FM in the area I grew up in. I found a love for pop music. And one of the songs I really loved was Bare Naked Ladies 1 week. Mainly, I think, because of the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang references in the video. Because the whole first scene is like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. And I also, I always thought it was interesting that people always try and like interpret these lyrics or try to make sense of them. Ed literally wrote it off the top of his head. They wrote the hook together. Then Ed wrote all the lyrics off the top of his head, just like one go around, because Bare Naked Ladies, they do this thing live where they'll make up a song on the spot, more or less. And so they wanted to record a song that had that kind of quality to it. So that's how 1 week happened. So don't try and make sense of Dolly Mae's on I Hope the Smoking Man's in this one, all that kind of stuff.
Wynn shared her wedding album in the thing.
Her wedding album.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we got to check this out.
You have to. There you go, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Wynn, I love it.
Talk about 90s. Hold on, let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit.
That's fantastic.
Oh, quite. Very nice.
Oh, it's awesome.
A super 90s style right there.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that she's doing the bunny rabbit here.
Oh, yeah. Super. Like everything is just so 90s. It's sick.
Nice.
Excellent. That is amazing. Awesome, Win. Awesome. So, okay, you want to move on to your song? Then?
Okay, my first song, shocker of shockers, Don't Speak from No Doubt.
Okay, let's go ahead and play the cover here real quick.
You and me, we used to be together, every day together, always. I really feel that I'm losing my best friend.
Okay.
Basically, No Doubt defined middle school for me, like tons and tons. Was right when they hit and right when they got really big. All of my friends, my boyfriend, we all loved No Doubt. Stuff like that. So this one time, They were coming near where we were, and my friend's mom was buying tickets for her and a bunch of friends to go to the concert. And my mom said, no, I couldn't go. I was like, are you kidding me? So I tried to win tickets on the radio. I literally sat there and listened all day long for these tickets. Finally, they announced how you can win. You have to be the first person to get your boyfriend, which I was single at the time, we had just broken up, to the radio station dressed like Gwen Stefani. Okay, 1, I was in 8th grade, so that's not an option. 2, I didn't have a boyfriend anymore. So I called the radio station to complain. And I was like, listen, I can't win these tickets because I'm only in 8th grade and I don't have a boyfriend and I can't get there. They made fun of me on air. They hung up on me, and then they aired the entire thing.
Nice.
It was hilarious. It was freaking awesome. And then my mom changed her mind, and I got to go to the concert anyway. We were only like 5 rows back. Like we were 5 rows past the pit.
Nice.
I could see the glisten. I see the glisten. And what?
I was just gonna say, Scotty says that No Doubt was the second CD he ever got. So
nice. Actually, might have been my second CD too. My first was a Lisa Loeb single.
My second was Ava Adore by Smashing Pumpkins. My first was
Smashing Pumpkins.
Garbage version 2.0.
Oh, Garbage.
Yeah. That's it's impossible to hit all of it. There's just
really
too much.
is. I want to go back. I love the 90s. But so we were there, and the people in front of us were doing a little something, and I had
she motioned to her lips as if they were smoking a cigarette
something
or something.
I was so confused because I'm a good little innocent girl. I had no idea what was going on. And after we left, they're like, "Did you see that this people worked in this?" I was like, "Whoa, what?" No clue. Her mom, I don't even know if she knew. She was just like, "La la la." So
you were an innocent.
I really was until college.
Until college. Okay, so let's see here. The next song I'm going to talk about and tell a little story about is a little song called Flagpole Sitter by a band called Harvey Danger. We'll play a little bit of it right here. And we'll go ahead and turn it down right there. It's fine. It's fine. No one heard it.
It's fine. I don't know what's going on.
I swear. No, but I've always loved Harvey Danger. They are actually my second favorite band next to Bare Naked Ladies. And so first of all, Flagpole Sitter, it's a very catchy tune that makes fun of the alternative scene around the time and the attitude, the alternative attitude prevalent in Seattle, where the band is from. A lot of people think it's like an authentic, like this is about being an alternative kind of person, but no, it's making fun of those kind of people. Yeah,
that's awesome.
But Harvey Danger isn't the guy in the glasses, by the way. The main lead singer of this band, that guy's name is Sean Nelson. He's a newspaper editor, like a zine editor, actually.
Nice. We
in
didn't
Seattle.
even touch on zines.
Yeah, and they made up the name Harvey Danger to make it sound like some sort of a cool super secret spy. Now, this song means a lot to me because the guys from Harvey Danger were some of the first celebrities I ever had the pleasure of interacting with. The drummer, I forget his name, I think it might have been James Kim, ran the Harvey Danger's website. So when I needed an album to review for the high school paper, I went ahead and emailed him and asked him if there was anything he could send me, if we could arrange a review or an interview or something like that. And what they did, they sent me this big press kit with like 100 photocopied articles about Harvey Danger and a free CD. And they even, because I used those articles that they sent me to write the main article, and then I had a couple follow-up questions. So I emailed them, and they answered them for me and stuff. And
that's so cool.
I think it's actually, I think I have the article right here, actually.
That's fantastic.
Let me see if I can find it. Yep, right here.
Slam.
Yeah. Watch out for danger. Yeah, there's my article from the school paper back in the day. This is my old school paper. But
it's an awful paper.
Yeah. Hey, I was the layout editor on this.
Okay, well, I just mean the size. You like shaking. It's not like a newspaper. It's like a booklet.
The Park Press. Even has editing marks on it because I was the layout editor. I had to do
That's
some stuff with it.
awesome.
But Where Have All the Merrymakers Gone, the album that song's from, it's a really great album too. Some highlights that I enjoy, a song called Carlotta Valdez, which is about Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo movie, and Jack the Lion, which is about being in the room while your grandfather's dying. More or less, it's a very powerful song, definitely, and it actually helped me through my grandfather's death, actually. So, good album. I definitely check it out if you want to.
His stories are always so much better than mine. Mine are fruity. Sorry. So my next song that's very, very definitive of the 90s is Livin' La Vida Loca from Ricky Martin.
And go dancing in the rain. She'll make you live a crazy life, and she'll take away your pain like a bullet to your brain. Upside, inside out, she's living la vida loca.
Yes, she is living La Vida Loca.
That's fantastic. Okay, so this song, excuse me, basically has a really strong memory with me from high school, from cheering tryouts. I don't know why. For some reason, it's one of those things that stick. So it just, Merry Christmas story time. I just remember hanging out, it was cheering tryouts. I think it was my second year because I finally knew who everybody was. Hanging out in the back hallway, everybody was practicing and stretching on the nasty wrestling mats with my friend Sherry. And I just remember that song associated with that specific memory, and it's a fun song. I mean,
honestly, Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin, I forget the year it came out, but that year it was like my theme song.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, Livin' La Vida Loca was my absolute theme song. People are saying, please, please, please let the Macarena be on this list.
It is on the playlist, but it's not on our show list.
But I guess we have to do it right now, right?
Okay, ready?
Hey, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Hi! There we go. Perfect way to end the music box, I think. Okay, next up.
Nicole, more pictures.
Oh, more.
Oh, the stripy sweaters. Yes.
Ooh, yes.
Yes, stripy
Excellent.
sweaters. Also, I'd like to point out that we're doing totally a throwback episode on Throwback Thursday, and I think it's fun.
Definitely. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a very, very.
That is the bangs. For sure. The bangs, sister.
And didn't she? She tweeted out some.
Yeah, the other
boots here too.
Her docs. There they are.
Find it here. Yes, there we go. Excellent.
Love it.
90s fashion. Gotta love it. For sure.
Good night, Win.
Oh, good night, Win. Thank you for stopping by and everything. Okay, we're going to move on to the idea box now, which if you don't know, it's really easy to do. Just go to universebox.com/ideabox. You have this form here, and we just need topics to talk about. They
Give us a little something.
Yeah, they can be related to the theme of the episode or not. Like, you can be like, what's your favorite color? And then you just hit submit. Boom, and we have your idea, and that's universebox.com/ideabox. We have a few ideas this week, and we'll go ahead and pose these questions to the chat room, too. Okay, first question is, what 90s fashion would you like to see back, and which 90s fashion would you like to never see again? Anne-Marie, we'll go ahead and start with you.
Okay, never see again would be the heroin chic, because it's just unhealthy and frightening. See, now this is how you can tell I've crossed into old lady land. I know I said earlier, can we make the velour jumpsuits go away? But how comfy is a velour jumpsuit?
They're very comfy.
Like, seriously.
Trust me.
I'm sorry. Did you become the godfather?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, I would totally rock a velour jumpsuit. No doubt.
Did you give any that you wouldn't like to see back?
Heroin chic.
Oh, yeah, heroin chic.
Anything
Yeah,
heroin
that's right.
chic.
Okay, as for me,
They were this big.
Definitely never like to see back, I think, would be a bowl cuts.
I had one of those.
So did I. And I would like to see come back would be just the one hoop earring in a guy's ear.
No.
Yeah, just like the one kind of like
the itty bitty little hoop.
Yeah,
oh,
the little
that's
bitty
awful.
hoop in the guy's ear. And let's see,
I
Scotty
do
Rowland.
like flannel.
Scotty Rowland says flannel and parachute pants. I'm guessing that's
He's been responding flannel and parachute pants to every tweet that we said about this show. Love it.
So Anne-Marie, what was your favorite 90s after school show?
I don't even remember watching TV.
Like after you got
like
done
after
with school?
school, because like I did a lot. I did cheering and dance, so pretty much all of elementary and middle school, I went straight to the dance studio almost every day.
Oh, okay.
Like at least 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was my 8th grade on, it was cheering after school. So, and then once I hit high school, it was the internet after school, and it was AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
So
AIM.
I don't really remember any 90s after school TV.
That's fair.
I remember before school TV and on school break TV. I don't remember coming home and watching anything. Doesn't mean I didn't. I just don't remember it.
Fair enough. I have 2 answers for this. One, there was a Channel 13 in Houston where I was growing up. They would show old movies in the afternoons. Usually, well, I was homeschooled, so I didn't really have an after school. It was more just like afternoon. But you know, in the early afternoon, they'd show old movies. A lot of times, they'd show like old Jerry Lewis movies, and so I would always watch old Jerry Lewis movies on that channel. And then I would always also watch Disney Afternoon. You know, what is it? Darkwing Duck and Chip and Dale, Tailspin. All
we
those
weren't
shows.
cool enough to have Disney. So
Okay, so Anne-Marie, did
Power
you?
Rangers. Okay, so but we watched that before school.
I did watch Power Rangers too.
We watched it before school.
Mhm.
I remember when it came out, I was really excited. I was in 4th grade, and me and my brother were really excited. Yeah, story time, deal with it.
Mhm.
I was really excited for it. I watched it. I liked it. It was awesome. Went to school. Everybody's like, "Did you see that stupid Power Ranger show this morning?" I was like, "Sink down into yourself. Don't say a word."
We used to have a ritual that we would do anytime we wanted to bring a new show into the schedule because we only had one main TV. So like we would have to like watch 2 episodes of it, and then we'd have like a ceremony we performed to like commit it to the TV guide. Okay.
Oh, you homeschool kids.
I know, right? No, that was actually before we were homeschooled. Because I'm thinking about, we did it specifically, I remember doing it for Saved by the Bell. Let's see here. Okay, did you fall into any 90s stereotypes? Grunge, goth, punk, prep, etc.?
No.
No.
I was just a dork. I'm still a dork.
Well, I think definitely in high school, the first couple of years of high school, I fell into kind of the scrub stereotype,
Okay.
where just kind of like a dirty poor kid or something like that. But then I graduated to goth. I was goth for most of my junior year, sophomore part of junior year, and then I became more of a theater kid, and then a punk, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh yeah, some more people are saying here, Freakazoid, Animaniacs for sure.
Okay, I remember watching Animaniacs.
And yeah, Batman the Animated Series, which we checked out earlier. Okay, so what is the best and worst thing that happened in your life in the 90s?
God. Okay, the worst thing is that I moved multiple times in high school.
Mhm.
Awful, awful, bad things. We don't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
Then it all comes back around. Best thing. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Graduated high school? Or no, you
No,
didn't
I
even graduate
didn't.
high school? In the
Nope. I mean,
90s.
I went to 3 different high schools within a 12-month period. I don't
Yeah.
know. Was that cool?
I guess.
Not really.
Okay, so for me, the worst thing that happened to me was probably in the early 90s.
I thought of something.
Okay, well, actually, go ahead.
My love of reading. That's when I really, because I'd have, in the very early 90s, I'd have been, well, little.
Yeah.
And got Babysitter's Club Little Sister books for Christmas. I got like 5 of them, and I devoured them in a month. They quickly moved me to the Babysitter's Club, and from there, it was a ripple effect. And I read a crazy amount. There was a point in elementary school where I would buy, or have my mom buy, a Babysitter's Club book, and I would try and see how fast I could read it.
Nice.
Who does that?
We used to get like the maximum amount allowed at the library and go back every week, like 25 books every week.
That's awesome.
I'd read through. Bobby says the best thing that happened to him in the 90s was his son being born on 4/9/99. And the worst was losing his brother in 96. Sorry to hear about that. Tom DeGassa says, best thing was teenage love. Worst thing was teenage love.
Yes.
Very
yes, absolutely.
And as for me, the worst thing was probably when my grandma passed away, because we had to move up to West Virginia from Texas, and that kind of set a whole chain of events going that wasn't super happy for me. And probably the best week, or the best thing actually, was that magical week I talked about in an earlier segment,
which should not have been a good week.
Well, it was just like a mind-blowing week, because I mean, I was watching Tarantino films and listening to pop music and watching MTV and all this stuff, and it kind of just completely opened my mind to popular culture. So
we should do Total Request Live next time.
Okay. TRL?
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so let's see here. Last question. Did you go see Titanic a million times or what? What was your relationship to the movie Titanic, which was a juggernaut in the 90s?
Saw it the week it came out.
My
mom took me and a friend. I was at high school number 2. And I was in a very dark place, but I finally made friends. It came out towards the end of the year, and I remember my mom picking us up from our gigantic school. Actually, no, she was there that day because she was a substitute teacher, and picked us up and took us to go see it.
Nice.
And I'm sure I've seen it a bazillion times. I just don't remember.
Yeah. See, I never actually went to see it in theaters. I was supposed to go. It was supposed to be my first date, actually, with this girl named Melissa Kusa. And
calling them out, man.
Well, actually, we met over AOL because I was searching for people around my age, like in the area. Okay. And so I IM'd her, and we started talking, and we tried to set up
And this is why AIM is dangerous.
But we tried setting up this Titanic date forever. It never worked out. We actually ended up going, for my first date, was actually Deep Impact, the Elijah Wood movie. And then I went and hung out at her house one time. She laid down in my lap. I didn't take the hint, and we never talked again, sadly.
Aww.
Rip.
Aww.
Rip first date. But if you want to submit, and these are good conversations.
These are good. These are good.
Submit your ideas over at universebox.com/ideabox. And you can submit ideas for new topics over there as well, including the topic we'll be talking about next week. But don't submit that because we're
already talking about it. But
so what's in the box for next week, Anne Marie?
The box came open.
Dun 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 dun.
Ooh. What could it be?
What's in the box? What's in the box? Yes, next week on Universe Box, we're traversing the plane of the dead. Come with us to the other side as we hunt down some ghosts. Ever see a spooky spirit? Do you know a historical ghost story? How about non-literal ghosts? You could tell us about a memory that haunts you. We're talking ghosts next week on Universe Box.
Ooh. We really don't practice this stuff. It just happens. Ooh.
And some people sent in some stuff for this week, of course. As always, if you want to send in that feedback, the way to do it is go to your email. Email us, universeboxshow@gmail.com. Tweet us at universe_box. The Facebook is facebook.com/theuniversebox. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. Oh, and by the way, we're going to have... the forgetting box, the forgetful box.
Oh, yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to start collecting. If you guys have listened to an episode previously and you had a story and you're like, man, I wish I got that in time, go ahead and send it. Once we get enough of them together.
We'll do a whole episode of forgotten
episode. And even if you just have really a story that's unrelated to anything that you just want to share too, definitely feel free to send it in. If you want to, go over to universebox.com, look through the episodes we've done and see if you have any stories you might want to tell. For sure. But first up, we have a voicemail from Bobby. So let's take it away, Bobby.
Hey, Bill and Anne-Marie, it's Bobby. I've always been a fan of movies. Growing up, of course, in the 80s, I loved like The Goonies and Monster Squad and Adventures in Babysitting. Oh, God, that's one of my favorite movies. But we're not talking about the 80s today. We're talking about the 90s. And it wasn't until the 90s that I really became... even though I kind of hate the word, a cinephile. I love movies. I love films. I've got like hundreds of them on DVD and Blu-ray. And it's one film in particular that really got me into movies. When I was 15, I was dragged kicking and screaming on my first date with my high school girlfriend to a movie called Mr. Holland's Opus. Not sure if you're familiar with it. It's about a musician that is trying to make ends meet,
Opus.
And so he is working as a substitute teacher and is offered a job as, a regular job as a teacher. And he ends up taking it, thinking, oh, well, I'll just do my music, in my off time, not realizing that he was not going to have any off time. But not only that, but that teaching would become what he really loved. It takes us through his life from the 60s to the 90s, and in doing so, almost treats us to an evolution of music from the 60s to the 90s, culminating in an opus at the end that beautifully captures all of the sounds of those decades and melds them into one chorus. It's one of my favorite movies. Great score, great soundtrack. I cry every time I watch it. And it just amazes me that in that little 2-hour window that my life was changed. Beforehand, I was, again, I loved movies. I saw Three Amigos in the movie theater when I was like 4 or 5, and I've loved movies ever since. But after watching Mr. Holland's opus, it just opened a whole new world for me. After that, I devoured movies like The Shawshank Redemption. Get busy living or get busy dying. I don't know if that's any better than Bill's, but that's my attempt at a weak Morgan Freeman.
And that day, Bobby attempted a Morgan Freeman impression with Andy Dufresne.
Impression. Quentin Tarantino came in the 90s with movies like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Forrest Gump is one of my favorite movies. And if you've never read the book, it's an even better book. And what's even funnier is, what's the name of the guy? Winston something. I can't remember who wrote the book. But when the movie came out, he wasn't happy with it. So he made a sequel to Forrest Gump, a sequel book to Forrest Gump that totally trashed the movie. If you ever get a chance to read those, do so.
I have read it. It's really good. He becomes an astronaut and goes into space with the chimp too, I believe.
Oh my God.
But that's not to say I didn't love movies in the 90s as well. I mean, the 90s gave us Keanu Reeves, action star, beginning in 1991 with Point Break and Johnny Utah, and ending in 1999 with one of the greatest action films and probably the most 90s film, The Matrix. That movie is so awesome. It's like a movie and a film. You can enjoy it on so many different levels.
I watched it in
There's
a church.
Kick-ass fight scene choreography. There's great sci-fi story. And if you know what they're saying, and I mean, there's like Nietzsche and Plato and Hobbes and all sorts of different philosophers showcased in that movie.
I would just like to point out that the Wachowskis, who did The Matrix, before they did The Matrix, they all those ideas, all those philosophical ideas, and Through the Rabbit Hole and Red Pill, Blue Pill, all of it was in their script for the DC Comics character Plastic Man, which is like the most ridiculous, comedic, cartoonish character ever. And it's all in there, and they basically took like 25% of the Plastic Man script and wrote a new plot around it for The Matrix.
Interesting.
Just a little
FYI there.
Yeah.
And of course, for better or worse, we did get the beginning of the Adam Sandler era with like Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore and The Waterboy, which were great movies. But Jack and
Waterboy I liked.
Joe.
Oh, I hated Waterboy.
His newer stuff isn't all that great. And then, of course, the Disney Renaissance, which we talked of before. I'm just now realizing the 90s kicked ass. And here I was thinking that I didn't have much to share. Thanks, Bill. See you guys in chat.
Woohoo!
Yeah, Bobby DM'd me a little bit before the show, and he was like, I can't think of what to do, man. And I was like, well, I suggested some topics to him. We might come to another one here in a minute or two. Okay, and we'll just wrap up real quick with a tweet from Win. And Win says, I'm one of probably only 2 people in the 90s who never watched Seinfeld. The other is my husband. Our 90s were gaming 24/7. And yeah, we didn't even touch gaming, like the PlayStation, the Super Nintendo,
there was
Mario,
so much.
Sonic,
we are going to have
console wars.
like, we should just do like more specific episodes like 90s music, 90s movies.
Well, we are going to be coming up with the next set of episodes this
on
Saturday
in our
the
Patreon
Hangout.
hangout.
So if you want to help us shape the next several weeks of the podcast, definitely join us there. Okay, now some takeaways. So first of all, everything is better in neon. Patterned pants are where it's at. Everything needs to be more extreme. We always thought our parents were kidding when they said we'd look back on our childhoods and be embarrassed. No, they were right, and it will happen to you.
But I want it to come back.
A little embarrassed, but we kind of want it to come back,
I
too.
want it all back.
Which I think corporate America is bringing it all back to
I'm
us.
okay.
So I guess it's good.
Can I get an NSYNC reunion?
Okay, so I guess it's about time. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I just got something in here. It's like, I don't know, it looks like a little...
Is it a sign?
Looks like a little sign or something. I don't know. Let's see.
I got a new life. You would hardly recognize me. I'm so glad. How could a person like me care for you? Why do I bother when you're not the one for me? Ooh. Is enough enough? I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. No one's gonna drag you up to get into the light where you belong.
But wherever you belong.
Okay, so Anne-Marie, where can people find you online?
In the 90s?
In the 90s.
No, you can find me on Twitter at DeSimone or on Instagram at CCHCblog.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all the podcasts we do, find them all, rather, at universebox.com. And you can check out the Dogboy Adventures series of books I write at dogboyadventures.com. Well, I guess that about does it. Thank you to you guys in the chat room
guys.
Who showed up 8:30 p.m. EST Thursday night.
Oh, we've gone extra long tonight, too.
I know, which is always fun.
Always.
So until next time, remember to think outside. We did it!
Woo!
And it was another long episode. We were like so worried that it wasn't good. We weren't going to have enough to fill it.
You were so worried. Then I think we added an extra segment just to make sure we were good.
And it was an hour and a half again, for sure. Yay! All that she wants is another baby. She's coming tomorrow. All that she wants is another baby. Oh.
Wow. Oh, you've got the right stuff.
Okay, you guys are awesome, by the way. I'm typing that in the chat.
I love it.
Any other 90s things we didn't mention?
There are so many. Okay, if there's anything 90s that we missed, send it to, well, I don't know, the forgetful box or whatever that is to be created in the next 24 hours. That's right. I'm giving you a deadline.
To give us an extra episode in June while we're moving. But okay, we're going to go ahead and get out of here so I can get this edited and everything. But thank you guys again so much. It was a radical tubular night for sure.
Whatever.
Radical tubular. You guys are all that and a bag of chips for sure. Night, guys.